What's the first one? Bream. Oh, spiky bream. Come on, settle down. It's on a slim twitcher. Love this colour too. Bream like that, even a bream that size, are pretty old fish, eh? Well, I said it's about the third or fourth cast. So. Midges are ordinary. There's lots of little trevally and stuff following the lure in when I wind the lure in, so stuff's active, but it's not what I'm after. That there looks really good for a barra or a jack just there. There's a green mangrove down in the water. And barras love sitting under that sort of stuff. Oh, my lure just got tangled. Oh. My lure got tangled, that was a jack. I love those green mangroves like that. It's not quite clear enough to spot fish, but unless they're really shallow. Oh, shit. What's that one? Oh no, I'm glad I didn't land that. That was a dirty, rotten, bloody catfish. Something in there. Don't know what sort of fish it is, but there was, could have been archer fish or something like that. There was just a bow wave there. Up in there. Oh, yeah, I think they're archers. Bug it. You quite often get archers and jacks sitting together though. So it's always worth another cast. There's another one in there. Look. There's something making ripples just there. Oh, shit. Any of that stuff, any of those ripples that you're seeing, they're all worth a cast, because it might be a mullet, but it might be, oh, it might be a big jack like this. Jack or GT? Oh, now starting to feel like a GT. Yeah, definitely starting to feel like a GT now. Yep. Get out from under there. Come on. Big one for the crew. Let's hit spot lock down. Deal with him before we go past all the good snags. Solid fish, eh? Those smaller ones, if you grab them around the gills like that, it stops them kicking as much. So, little outfit that I'm using is a Xenon. Little reel's called an Abu Xenon, but the rod is a Samurai Infinite, and this one's a 6 to 12. So this is my lighter one of the Infinite bait casters. Oh, archerfish spitting water there. The reason I like this is because I can sort of generate so much power in the rod tip to cast without very much arm movement at all, and that's a big secret to accuracy, is being able to make minimal arm movements for maximum power. So even sideways, if I have to skip like that, I know that my arm movements can be abbreviated, so it sort of makes everything just easier. And it means that over a day's casting, you know, like 6, 7, 8 hours of casting lures, because we don't vibe much at all, we don't troll, it's pretty much all just casting. And when you're casting, like cast after cast after cast, weight comes into it and energy efficiency comes into it as well. So if I'm expending a heap of energy every cast, oh Jack, if I'm expending energy every cast, by the time I get 2 or 3 hours into it, I'm buggered. So things are starting to ache and that. So That's the reason I like this particular rod. It's one of my favourite jack rods, because sometimes jacks, they won't hit the bigger lures. You've got to give them the smaller lures. So this one throws the smaller lures. The combo itself, the rod and reel, because the spool weighs so little. Like the spool on that little abusenon, it weighs nothing. So it doesn't take a very big lure to revolve it. But the tip on the rod combines with it, and it just makes it a joy to use. Okay, so this is called red pumpkin. So it's basically pumpkin colour with a red fleck in it. So this is a really natural looking colour. It's one of my favourites for clear water. So I'm going to rig him up, and I'm going to fish him on the surface. There's a little bit of surface activity here now, so I love getting a surface bite. Even if I know I can catch fish down deeper, I still love to try and get it on the surface if I can. Just because it's much more spectacular, and I don't need to catch a heap of fish or anything like that. I just need to get the maximum enjoyment out of each capture. So for me, catching them on the top is perfect. Oh, wow. That may be the next piece of bank we look at. Alright, see how that goes. That's one tactic we use a lot too, is we'll cast over a branch, even though it looks like a suicide cast. We'll cast over a branch and then, oh Jesus, oh that feels very jackish too. Oh, he's got me off. You'll hear us use the expression suicide cast a lot, and that's exactly what it relates to. You just cast it into an area you just don't expect to get a fish out. But you worry about hooking them first, worry about getting them out second. So the first thing I ever taught my young fella was, you know, like, don't hesitate in throwing a cast into a spot that just looks like you're not going to get it back out, because most of the time you do. This is looking good along here. Little drain coming in there. Oh, there's a jack way back in the snags there. I don't think I can even get to him, he's that far back. Oh, what's that one? Oh, it's another friggin' GT. Spot lock. For 6 to 12 rod, you can put some hurt in, I know. The size of these GTs for the creek. God. Come on. Oh dear. They bloody pull, there's no doubt about them. And they pull up. Another solid one. Oh, get out of it. Get out of my motorbike. That one's more like what we're after. Wrong size though. There's been a definite increase in action since I put this colour on there. It's why it's worth taking the time. Worth taking the time to make the change. A pretty little fish, eh? What the hell is this one? Oh, another brim. Come on. The only thing I don't like about brim is they tear your bloody plastics. God, look at that. That's just a prime fish holding spot, that. That's a snag. Spot lock there. Oi, where was that? Oh yeah, you see the bubbles down there. Oi, look at that. Now there's a suicide cast for you. Oh, yep, got him. That's a Barra. If I give him some slack, hopefully he'll sort of kick himself off there. Then again, he could do what he's doing and go worse. So. See if we can get him off. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it's worth it. Oh, there's something in there chasing a prawn. Oh, big pikey. Don't like pikeys. Spot lock there. But one thing you do notice, the lighter you go, oh, back up there, the lighter you go, the more bites you get. There's no arguing that fact. Have a look at that for a show of fish. I don't know if they're finger mark or barras or what, but I've sunk a little plastic on them to see if we can find out. Those ones there, they're barras. So what I've got going on here at the moment, I've got my battery, my starter battery is hooked up to my sounder. And if I do more fishing than I am driving, because I've got them running both off the same battery, I end up running my starter battery flat. So I've just got to leave the battery running for a sec while I sneak across and do these snags, and I'm going to take it for a big run. But it's got that sounder's got a battery alarm on it, so when your battery's getting lower than it's 11.7 or whatever it is, she sends off an alarm. Well, that worked. I just turned the GoPro off and this fella hit it. Got a big fish, he's just under legal size, so we're just unhook him as quick as we can. Come on, stop. I know you're a bit green, aren't you? Green doesn't mean the colour. Green means he hasn't used much energy. Let's see if there's only one there, or maybe a couple more. He was right there. But it's definitely worth a few more casts, so that's when you hit spot lock. And that spot lock is dead set. It's like someone driving the boat for you. It's absolutely, for what we do, the type of fishing we do, absolutely impossible to do the style of fishing we do without the Minn Kota. So it seems the closer you can get. Like they're not on the snags that are sort of coming out horizontal. They seem to be tied up in those little spots like that there. Oh, oh. Yeah, like that, yeah. I think you felt the hook, that one. That was a big jack, that one. Bugger. That's the one I wanted. Oh, suicide. Now teabag. Looks like got it all happening. That's a nice fish. You would have seen that anyway, but yeah. Oh, what's that? That was a Barra, I think. Alright, maybe it's time to bling them up a little bit and see if we can get a better. It's called quick coat worm dip, this stuff. It's an instant dye, so it's made for plastisol based plastics, like just your normal latex stuff. So I'll bling him up with a bit of that. Add that little bit of contrast between the body and the plastic, and then I'm going to get a little bit of this stuff. So this is Halco Catch Scent. So it's full of fish pheromones. So what we do is we put a little bit on our finger, and we put it on the finger that is opposite to our casting hand, because it's greasy, which it's meant to be. Smear it on your fingers like that, and smear it on your lure like that. And if I've got any contaminants on this lure, like sunscreen, fuel fumes, fumes off the mozzie coil, any of that sort of stuff, it camouflages them, but it also makes them bite down on it. So we'll see if we can get a more positive bite when we add that stuff, because we're getting lots of bites. It's the hookup ratio that sucks. Another thing that can happen sometimes too is just the sound of your lure can bring oh, that's a jack. Look at him. He's not a bad fish either. Like the sound of that lure landing is quite often enough to get a fish to come out and have a look. Now I can see a fish in there too. It looks like it might be a big pikey though. Just there. Yeah, it is. Big black. Oh, where was that? Chuck him at the right at the right spot, or you know, when you hear fish busting up where you've come from, obviously I've missed it. I haven't got the fish. So some nice little laying down ones here. Not on the spot like this and just fish these a little bit more thorough. Oh! It's a little mundi. Yeah, that'll spot lock in there. Settle. Oh, you destroyed your bloody plastic. God. Go at that side. Okay, so sometimes, depending on how badly they're damaged, you can mould them back together. Just blow the water out of them, put the lighter up in there, and then while it's still soft, well, that stuffed that spot anyway. I'm gonna have a look somewhere else. Bloody hell, big feeding frenzy going on up here. Jesus Christ, what the hell is that? I've never seen anything like this. Right at the mouth of this drain. What the bloody hell? I've got no idea what to make of that. They're milkies or tarpon or... They're going to be tarpon. Oh, they're out here too. You'd reckon there'd have to be barras under that. My God. Look at that. Holy crap. There's a spot lock there for me. Oh, that's a tarpon. I'm buried my bloody hook in my plastic. There's nothing buffing them. And that's just would be Barra heaven there. Pointless even trying to get through these things. This one's jagged in the side. Come here. There's fish right on the bottom that aren't tarpon, but the tarpon are from top to bottom. Like they're just feeding like this. They're stationary fish on on a snag. What's this one? Doesn't want to jump. Finger mark. Please, something under it too. Sorry, Jack. Jeez, maybe I've just seen the finger mark. If you can get through them, if you can get through the tarpon, there's fish under them. He's a legal size jack, but I don't want a jack. Oh, snappy one. Snappy. Let's see what else is down there. Bloody hell. I'm getting to the bottom. And a couple of twitches out of it, so if I can get a few twitches so something else can get a look at it instead of a tarpon. Oh, oh. That didn't feel like a tarpon. Oh, that did. First one wasn't, the second one was. Hop it up too far off the bottom. Hop it off too far off the bottom, that's when it gets eaten by tarpon. Weak. On the way up, that'll be a tarpon. He's throwing some slack. Oh, he just ripped my tail off.